If a president can fund his own budget, why would he even bother submitting it to Congress? There's no end to this. You would have, in effect, a dictator, which is what Robert Reich and the Democrats are demanding. You may have heard about this budget issue and the debt issue, but I doubt you've heard 60 seconds from Robert Reich. Remember the little fella? He's gone completely over the Marxist edge. He's a complete fool and phony and fraud. Nonetheless, we do enjoy using him as a foil, much as we like to use Scarborough as a foil and all the other foils. But let's take a little listen so I can use this to, well, spring off from, project. Go ahead.
What's to stop Biden from ignoring the debt ceiling and continuing to pay America's bills? Nothing. He's constitutionally obligated to do so. And there's at least one precedent for the executive branch doing whatever it takes to avoid default. Guess who set it? During a 1985 budget dispute, Reagan's Treasury Secretary borrowed from the Social Security Trust Fund to keep the nation's bills paid. The U.S. Comptroller General later found this to be illegal, but said it was not unreasonable given the circumstances. Will Biden have to resort to such measures? Well, we'll see. The lesson here is there is not a specific date when the Treasury runs dry, just ever more extreme bookkeeping measures to keep paying our bills. If MAGA Republicans don't like this and want to force the U.S. into default, wrecking the economy and putting millions of Americans out of work, let them take Biden to court. Let them demand publicly that he should not honor the full faith and credit of the United States. This is a Republican manufactured crisis. Let them own it.
Now look at the is he in an institution there, or where is he there? They let the light in through the ceiling. Everything's white. Thought I saw some pads on the side there. I don't know. What an idiot. Couple of things here. Reagan never violated the law. I don't know why they drag Reagan into this stuff. But there are ways for the Treasury to ensure that the bills are paid short of violating the law or the Constitution, including some of what Reagan did and some of what other presidents have done, borrowing from this account or that account or another account. The issue isn't that. The issue is if they're going to issue brand new instruments, Treasury instruments, bond instruments, things of that sort, which clearly under Article 1 is the total responsibility of the Congress of the United States. You can check it out yourself. We've talked about it before. Spending, borrowing, taxing comes out of Congress, specifically the House of Representatives. Now let's pretend it doesn't exist for the 4,000th time. The 14th Amendment's adopted. It's adopted fully ratified in 1868. Okay. They were talking about the payment of debts there, specifically related to the Civil War. This is a Civil War, a post-Civil War amendment, 13th, 14th, 15th. And they talk about what can and cannot be paid. So basically, anything is to be paid that supported the war effort of the North. Nothing is to be paid that supported the war effort of the South, the Confederacy, period. That's it. Now, there's not a syllable anywhere that I could find of anybody saying at the time that this was intended to empower the President of the United States or the executive branch to bypass Congress's fundamental core responsibility to raise revenue and to pay debt. There's nothing in there for the President of the United States. The black and white language is in Article 1. Article 1 is focused on the legislature, the Congress. So do you think for 1 second that the framers of the Constitution would have supported such a thing? That is, a 14th Amendment that utterly and completely destroys the idea of separation of powers even more. Do you think those who drafted the 14th Amendment, adopted it, and then the states that ratified it had in mind that a president of the United States could both submit a budget and fund a budget? If a president can fund his own budget, why would he even bother submitting it to Congress? There's no end to this. You would have, in effect, a dictator, which is what Robert Reich and the Democrats are demanding. What if Donald Trump were in this position saying, you know what, we need more defense spending, they won't give it to me, so I'm going to issue bonds and we're going to spend more on defense? I mean, they impeached him in an unconstitutional impeachment over a phone call over really one word. What would they do about that? Lawrence Tribe has been advising, apparently, Joe Biden in support of this idea that you could bypass Congress and just unilaterally, the President of the United States, raise the debt ceiling. Now think about that. No president in American history has done that. If you could do that, wouldn't they have done it? In fact, if you can do that, why didn't Biden do it already? And if Lawrence Tribe is right, then the Lawrence Tribe of 2011 is wrong. Yes, I do my research. Lawrence Tribe wrote in the New York Times in May of this year, urging Biden to go ahead and bypass a Congress in Article 1. It says it's right there in the 14th Amendment. But Lawrence Tribe in 2011 told Barack Obama, don't you dare do that. There's nothing that supports this theory. It is a bogus theory. And in fact, it is unequivocal that Congress and only Congress has the power to do what Reich and the others are recommending that Biden do. But even scarier than this is Biden himself, who said last week that he thinks he has this power. But he's concerned about court challenges and that it'll go unresolved for too long. But he believes he has the power to be a dictator. He believes he has the power to destroy separation of powers. He believes he has the power to seize control from Congress. Now, what does that tell you? That's pretty damn frightening. So does virtually every Democrat in Congress. So does virtually every Democrat dressed up as a journalist, and so do these moronic surrogates. They believe, under Democrat presidents only, of course, that they have the power to do this sort of thing. It's really quite appalling.
For all this and much more, sign up for Levin TV.